Hello, everyone. Today is Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024. Excuse me. At 11:44 a.m. in the morning. So, um, I was originally scheduled to be checking out this morning, but thankfully, I had enough help with two more nights off the streets and out of the cold. Thanks so much for y'all help. And like when I try to thank y'all privately, I be wondering if y'all get the private thank you messages and stuff. Sometimes I wonder if y'all received it or not. So, um, but good news is, overnight, um, the swelling and pain had reduced. Like the pain had reduced to like, um, it went down like over 80%, you know, and the swelling went down approximately what looked like 50%. So the swelling in my legs um went down like tremendously, I'll say, but I was amazed that wow, all I had to do was, have somewhere to lay down and sleep at night. Not even necessarily raising my legs up or anything like that, but to have somewhere to just where I can lay down. And even though my sleep wasn't really that great last night, and David Jane and the fake Darnell Williams perp came to harass me again last night. And David Jane tried to falsely talk about that my twin sister is trying to help me get housing. My twin sister had never really tried to help me, and she's been telling everybody, telling her cult followers to not help me. So, and the cult followers falsely gave him like, I don't remember if it was 6 or 8 thumbs up for that fake comment. And they play too many games with the thumbs up and thumbs down. And if we're all supposed to be adults, but y'all are playing childish games with the bullying, with the thumbs down and everything. But on the previous video, y'all made sure to wrongfully give me over 15 thumbs down. I'll say like 15 and counting. But thankfully, I got 3 thumbs up. But yeah, that's my twin sister telling her cult what to do. So I don't, as I said, I don't, I would, if my twin sister ever reaching out to try to help, it's like a sinister setup. So the cult, my twin sister's cult got mad at me for, doing a video saying that, I mean, they gave thumbs down and judged based on the title, and they were mad at me for saying that my twin sister is never to be trusted. But if you're working with satanic people, how the hell is that supposed to be trusted? But my twin sister, I don't even think she's delusional about her lies, the lies that she makes up. I don't think she's delusional, but it seems like she does that, out of malice. Like they're well crafted, you know, um, and well thought out, and she's been a skilled liar from as long as we've been able to talk. From toddlers. So nothing I said in the previous video was false or any lies or anything. If anything, any false information, it might have been something that I may have misunderstood or misinterpreted, but intentional and willful lying, nah, that did not happen in the last video. So Um, but my twin sister made a fake quote in her one of her recent community posts about people believing their own lies, but the whole family lies, but yet they know her for to have a bad reputation for being a liar. But even the foster or biological family, growing up in earlier adulthood, nobody would have ever nobody ever, I never really had a reputation for being a scammer until my twin sister got on board on YouTube, and she felt threatened at me finding out that she's a perp and I started exposing it. And then I started exposing her as a perp, and then she had to get a fake smear campaign going to avoid detection because she had been outed, and that's why she pretended to be fake livid and started to try to rewrite history and switch the narrative and falsify everything true. She'd been speaking bad about me long before I started speaking truth about her. I mean, she was bad-mouthing me on Facebook about almost a decade and a half ago, and causing me to lose Facebook followers and stuff like that, and Facebook friends and stuff. Smear campaigned me to my neighbors in New Orleans towers. Smear campaigned me to any friends or family or whatever that she associated with. She even smear campaigned and lied on me to the neighbors in Los Angeles. And after she lied on me, that's when I started to see, the perp activities and weird shit going on. Like smush dead birds on my on the front doorstep. Neighbors turned against me because she lied on me. All the way over the phone from out of state. From miles and miles away. She lied to my next door neighbors about me. So, I mean, she lied throughout the decades about me. And the moment, in 2020 of her finding out of me speaking the truth, she tried to find a smear campaign to shut me down, which was projection on what she had been doing to me throughout the decades. The ungrateful scammer, that's exactly what she had been doing to me, bullying me out of my money throughout the years. And everything about her is fake. Everything is a fake and an act towards her. I mean, with her, I meant to say. My words ain't coming out right. Everything she does towards me is fake and an act. And I be just like authentic and genuine and just be myself. But Mark was controlling and abusive enough that I'm like, that's my older brother and he cares nothing about me, but he wants to wrongfully punish me for doing normal shit. Like, why the hell should I have to I was in my 20s and dealing with Mark being so controlling and abusive. I had to do stuff like sneak and do normal stuff, that normal people do. Sneak behind his back just to go fucking use the bathroom, or else he'd get mad or some shit like that. Just using that for an example. And it's like, why am I have to keep sneaking behind his back and, to avoid him raging at me and going off? And he would do a lot of manipulation and gaslighting and fear mongering Wyatt too, and the family, the foster and biological family, being associated with them, you know, ruined my mental health. And Mark would do stuff like put spyware and put all this put spyware and malware and stuff and tracking or whatever on my computer, and would stalk and spy on all my internet activity and snoop through all everything I do, and then run back and tell the biological mom Frances, and the biological mom Frances will be like, well, Mark said you did this, Mark said you did that. Or if Mark was sent for me to be in his house, and then he would secretly be gone for like a week or so, and then come back and tell me everything I did in the house. And Pete would do the same thing. Well, Pete would be gone all day going to work, like leave at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then come back like at 11 o'clock at night, and then tell me everything I did in the house. I'm like, and I was wondering, like, do y'all have secret cameras watching me or something? I mean, secret surveillance cameras. Like, how did you know that I, took a shower at this time? Or how did you know I did this? How did you know I do that? Or, so, like, Mark would be away from the house and tell me exactly what I ate for breakfast. Or sometimes he will over-exaggerate and lie. If I'm a grown adult and you don't care about me, and even with foster family or narcissistic control freak, fake friend, anybody, if you don't care about me, why do you be like, oh, well, you ate such and such amount of such and such or whatever? Like when Mark falsely accused me of eating 3 bowls of cereal, and I'm like, no, I ate 2 bowls of cereal, and I mean, if they're smaller bowls, I would eat like 2 smaller bowls of cereal and have some milk with it for breakfast, but I mean, what's the difference between 2 smaller bowls or 1 big bowl? And I don't like 1 big bowl because I don't like my cereal getting soggy, So, if I eat 2 small bowls of cereal for breakfast, oh, you're greedy. But what's the difference between if the 2 small bowls is like 8 ounces, but the big bowl will be like 20 ounce, and I couldn't even eat the whole big bowl. But y'all forcing me to see a psychiatrist and take medicine that make you overeat and make you hungry, and which would cause what people would falsely or whatever. I guess it would be like a psychotropic medication, or is it psychotropic medication? Psychotropic medication induced eating disorder. Excuse me, or and then people will, you gaining weight on these psych meds and be extra hungry, and then people will make like, oh, you're just naturally greedy because you want to be. When that's the side effects of the medication. But you feel compassion and sympathy for if you force someone to see a psychiatrist and take medicine, and that medication will make you drool and slobber excessively. Like, I didn't know. I used to wonder. I thought Wyatt was naturally like that, but I was a little kid. But Wyatt used to be on psychiatric medications that make him drool and slobber all over the place. When we were little kids, But they would condemn me for dozing off and falling asleep. And as I said, like all these days of being sleep deprived and being homeless on the streets, and they would be like, oh, you can't sleep here or whatever. Like, well, I've been sleep deprived in days without being able to sleep. And then when my body starts shutting out uncontrollably, then you want to inflict punishment. But when I was on psych medications, you condemn me for falling asleep and say that I'm using my medication as an excuse, or that I'm using my mental disorder as an excuse. But y'all sit there and manipulate for these situations to happen to me, being controlling and abusive, and weaponize psychiatry to punish. And it's not even healing or medication or anything. I mean, I'm sorry. It's not even healing or help you get better. It's just um chemical, what they say, chemical lobotomy with the medication. And they act like as if punishment is supposed to be a so-called form of healing, but actually traumatize you and make you worse. Um, so, well, my twin sister and Mark, they're the main family members that is the main biological family members that is the most coercive with pushing psychiatry on me. You know, and the fake foster mom Adrian Felder and some of her fake flying monkeys, if they will try to push psychiatry onto me against my will or against what I want. And none of them care about me. None of them love me. And then they manipulate everybody else to falsely believe that I'm just such a disgrace. Or that scum of the earth is to be more respected than me. And that's how they act, you know. And they think that they got the fake authority to wrongfully rob me of my personal rights and my constitutional rights. While they pretend that, like, when I stand up to them trying to take advantage of me, or if I stand up to them perping me and defend myself, they will pretend like they're the fake victim and then make it like as if I'm the one that's robbing them of their freedom and rights. When they want to do stuff on purpose to upset me and everything. But other than regular perps out on the streets, my own family members, it seemed like as if they're more successful at getting me to be on the verge of taking my own life. With their abuse and their narcissistic abuse and gang stalking tactics. Like, my mental health was way better, like, not being around them. But certain other family members that are outsiders that I wasn't too close with, like, as I said, I can almost count on my hands how many times I've, interacted with or dealt with Yvonne, but she hate me based on family false rumors. And, she doesn't even care to try to get to know me and try to love me like a normal aunt/niece kind of relationship. She just they see me as just this outsider and this foreigner. Or like a cancer to the family. And then they are not shy about trying to replace me with outsiders. That's not related. They will try to get other outsiders to take my place as family members. And they act like as if they want to try to completely and totally erase my existence, as a family member. So, but yeah, I mean, like, I tried to plug my phone into the outlets that's close by the beds, but the outlet, it didn't seem like it was working. It said that it was charging, but it wasn't really charging. and my phone was it was charging backwards. So I had to try to use the other plug on the other side over there. Um and I'm charging my other phone at the moment. The backup phone, I'm charging that one. But so yeah, the fake Darnell Williams perp and David Jane try to harass me or whatever. But yeah, if my twin sister were to try to be getting me in a place to live or something, yeah, as I said, I would be like subjected to her control and abuse, and her making me feel indebted, and her treating me like I'm a slave, treating me like I'm her slave, and bully and abuse and rob me of any rights, like take my rights away. But I don't have the power, authority to take her rights away. I couldn't get to control what she eats. She got mad at me for not wanting her to vape around me in 2017. And years before, for her to smoke around me, smoke cigarettes around me. Her, Mark, and the biological mom, Frances, they used to smoke cigarettes in the car, and they would deliberately and on purpose aim the cigarettes at my nose. And the cigarettes be burning my nose and my mouth, like as if they wanted to try to act like as if they want to try to force me to become a smoker too. I didn't even realize my twin sister said she hated weed. Well, I hate both weed and cigarettes, and I hate vape. So I'm like, why y'all act like y'all trying to force me to become a smoker? But I didn't realize they were all perping me back at that, at those moments. So, but, yeah, they were like sitting in a freaking tiny little small car. And they sit in the front and I'm sitting in the back, and they smoke the cigarette and deliberately point and aim the direction of the burning side of the cigarette like towards my nose on purpose. And if the biological mom, Frances, would urinate in the car, I didn't realize that she had weak bladder too. And because of me being brainwashed by the foster mom, I thought the biological mom, Frances, was doing this on purpose. And Mark would force me to sit exactly where the biological mom, Frances, had urinated, at the seat in the car. And then the biological mom, Frances, would try to give me like have me to spend the night by her house, or spend the weekend by her house when we were living in Denton, Texas. And she would give me and I'm wondering, is she doing this on purpose? Giving me like pissy blankets to sleep on. And then Ramona would copy off of her and give me like pissy and bloody blankets to sleep on. But Ramona's the pissy blankets come from the cat she had, whatever kind of, like if she had cats or whatever, that's where the urine would come from. She probably mind controlled the cats to urinate on the blankets so she could be prepared in advance to give me the blankets to sleep on. And they would exclude me from family functions, and either not tell me at all, or I so happen to see on social media back then, or Ramona will wait like after the birthday party of another family member or something to, tell me that such and such person in the family had a birthday party. And then said, oh, well, you could have came. Well, y'all had no intentions on telling me beforehand. And I got sick and tired of the manipulation and games. You know, so it seems like as the, including my twin sister, other so many family members, if they would try to set me up for something bad or try to set me up to get in all kinds of trouble with the law, or they would deliberately and on purpose with a deceitful looking smile on their face trying to manipulate to try to steer me in the wrong direction in life, to set me up to fail on purpose, and then laugh and think it's funny, and then I never hear the end of it with the continuous bullying, harassing, and laughing at me, for them to try to set me up to and then when they do stuff like that, they don't end up being criminally charged with being accessory to a such and such crime. But they'll be trying to set me up to manipulate and push me up, or set me up, or try to bully, frighten, and intimidate me, and it's like, well, so I'm glad that I'm not around them, you know. So so I won't. And then like before dealing with my twin sister, like when I was living in Los Angeles, I had so much freedom. Not being around my family, I didn't have anybody to worry about, with anybody trying to push mental health on me, or trying to, well, other than the homeless life. After dealing with the homeless life, once I got my Section 8 apartment or whatever, it was a Section 8 house. The Section 8 house that I was staying in. Once I got that house on Section 8 that I was staying in, for 4 years I didn't have to worry about mental health being pushed on me, or for anybody to talk about my behavior, or for anybody to talk about you're doing this and that for attention, or you want people to feel pity, or you're doing this for pity, sympathy, and attention and stuff like that. And like they push that force fake mental health and use the fake mental health abuse terminology, lecturing me about my behavior, or while they were the ones that's abusive for no reason. And when I question why you getting an attitude, and they, I'm starting trouble and having bad behavior because I caught on to something sinister or wicked that they're trying to do. So but the biological niece Monica wanted to have this vigilante punishment towards me because of my twin sister's lies. And I never got to have like a niece aunt relationship with my niece Monica. And for her to be 18 years old and tell me, didn't even give me eye contact, but told me straight to my face, I don't give a shit about you. Or for her to be in the house with me for 8 hours and tell me not one word. Not one word. And if I were to approach her to ask her, where's the salt or something like that, and she would get a harsh attitude. But she would bully, harass, and pick on the biological brother Sean as well, and bully Sean to tears. Multiple family members will bully Sean to tears. Like Ramona said that Sean cried because drunk lady Yvonne had insulted him, saying his feet stink. But y'all forcing us to be on psych medications that will cause inflammation and candida fungus overgrowth. And it's messing us up mentally. If you really cared about helping someone's mental health, can you picture if my twin sister or Ramona would be like, well, Candy, and let's grow an organic garden. And if we be gardening together and, planting vegetables and, we can even have our own little business with selling and making aguas frescas or organic natural aguas frescas or something. But no, it's y'all want to push mental health and junk food on people. I mean, you leave somebody to be too poor to afford, something natural and organic. But, I'm pretty sure growing a garden will help your mental health. But the family refuses to put differences aside and come together. And there's so much greed and selfishness in the family. You know. But my twin sister, like, if she knows what it's like to be banned from the family or ostracized from the family, but yet now it's happening to me and she's laughing about it and rejoicing. But it seems like Rebecca just, you know, avoids me like the plague. And like wants absolutely nothing to do with me at all. You know, she don't even try to boss and control or order me around and tell me what to do. She just stay the hell away from me. But, Rebecca started perping me in 2005 before Hurricane Katrina, and she was 14 years old. And she meant what she said about when Sean told me over the phone that Rebecca told him that she didn't want anything to do with me ever again for the rest of my life. Over something small. Over a small argument. Over chicken that I bought. You hate me and didn't want to talk to me. It was right before Hurricane Katrina. And I bought Popeyes for the house. And Rebecca was treating me mean. So I took the chicken away from her. And then me and her got into an argument about that. And then she got mad and felt like, oh, well, I don't want to. But you were treating me mean and perping and abusing me. And you didn't like that I took that away from you, And then I told her dad, which was drunk Daryl, about it. And then he lectured me talking about you will go straight to jail. And then Wyatt was like, oh, well, he wasn't playing. But then Daryl was like, oh, yeah, well, come spend the weekend. Come spend the weekend. Daryl will always want for me to come spend the weekend. Well, how can I ever come spend the weekend if I'm permanently banned from Drunk Lady Yvonne's house? And in 2015, I went to the store or something, and Ramona said that Daryl came to her house looking for me. And I felt emotionally touched by the heart because I'm like, well, I thought the man hated me. But, like, with them being, like, the light-skinned pretty Creoles or something, I always thought that Daryl looked like a racist white man that hate black people. But like him and all his siblings, they all look like white people, but they're New Orleans Creole, you know. But Daryl looked like this. Like, I didn't know about Daryl and Yvonne until after I turned 18. But the way Daryl looked reminded me of that white boy who was racist and abusive and highly narcissistic, that Paul Mathern guy. And then it's ironic that Daryl's middle name is Paul. And then the foster brother Joe, his name was Joseph Paul Modelis Jr. And then Paul's name was freaking Paul Joseph Mathern. And then Daryl is like Daryl Paul Garnett. And then he has a son named Daryl Paul Garnett Jr., who they call Do. They turned Do against me. Even in 2015, Do used to love me. But, over small arguments, petty little stuff. No, you hold this big fucking grudge where you ain't talking to me for 20 years. And I said that I never really got into an argument with Yvonne, and neither have I disrespected her. Yvonne has said and done hurtful things to my twin sister, to the point to even have her in tears, calling me up, crying. But as evil and mean as Yvonne and Ramona and them are, I'm surprised that they don't even really have a criminal record. Because certain people, they're abusive and narcissistic, and they only commit crimes, felony crimes, to their own family members. But they know how to falsely present themselves as perfect angels out on the streets, out in public. You know. But yeah, for them to not even care about how I'm suffering, and Yvonne and Ramona is just like selfish, But as I said, Ramona even tried to take advantage of our biological Aunt Carolyn, Arthur's sister. And that lady, I'm pretty sure, is mentally normal. But Ramona would even act two-faced towards her. And one time Ramona tried to show me a video of her, and trying to show a video of our Aunt Carolyn being drunk or whatever. And then Ramona was calling her like a drunk bitch and this and that, whatever. But that lady said, she told me that Ramona had, Ramona had took advantage of her with cell phone or something like that, or stole money from her. I don't remember exactly what it was. I could be wrong, but I just remember my Aunt Carolyn telling me a story about Ramona, trying to get over and take advantage of her and stealing from her. Ramona's a fucking kleptomaniac, but she tried to scapegoat and blame Blake and say that Blake is the one with loose fingers in the family. But I heard other people say in the family that he was a thief also. But Ramona's the damn thief. But Blake only stole from me once, and it was something small and petty. But it's a big deal when you're poor and ain't got shit. And that's all you have. It was in 2005 before Hurricane Katrina, or was it 2004? Now I think it was 2005 before Hurricane Katrina, because Wyatt had already came back. And Blake, he stole a chicken pot pie I think it was 54 cents at fake Walmart, but I ain't had much of nothing. And he stole the chicken pot pie out of my freezer, and I got mad about it. And then Wyatt said that Blake, you know, mentioned that, oh, well, I didn't think it was a big deal, or something like that, you know. But Mark stole $80 from me, and then lied and said that a friend stole $80 from him. And said, well, Candy, let me tell you something. I had a friend that had stole $80 from me, and I was looking for it. And tell me how the money said, come look for me. Next thing you know, Mark was snooping. I noticed that Mark was snooping through all my belongings and snooping through my drawers and everything. And then Mark had stole. He stole 80. I found $80 missing, and Mark was the only one in my fucking house. And of course, he lied. Mark stole $80 from me. But Mark, you stealing from me, but you want to tell everybody that Candy is greedy. But Mark is covetous and try to take all my money. But he want to call me greedy when it comes to food. But I never stole any money from Mark. I never stole any money from my twin sister, I don't think. I never stole any money from Sean. I never stole any money from Ramona. I never stole any money from Wyatt. You know, I never stole any money from anybody really in the family, I don't think. But maybe my twin sister when we were little, but I don't remember. But we were kids, and you know, maybe, but I can't think of any instances, but I don't have any recollection of stealing any money from my twin sister. But when we were little kids, like maybe toddlers or elementary or something, I don't know. But definitely during teenage years on up, I definitely never stole any of my twin sister's money. And I never used or took advantage of her or bullied her out of any money either. But, like, being like a toddler and even maybe in first grade, like the foster dad Al would leave money, you know, sitting on the dresser or something, or on top of the TV cable box, and occasionally, you know, I was a little kid and I would steal the money. But I don't remember if I stole any, like I never went into the foster mom Adrian Felder's purse and stole from her. But I remember us being like 7 years old, and my twin sister had went into the foster mom's purse and like stole her credit cards. And then like my twin sister got like a really bad ass whooping for that or something. And it has something to do with my twin sister, you know, telling the school that, oh, I've been abused or whatever or something. And she asked the foster mom, what is abuse? And the foster mom got mad and raged at her and was like, let me show you what abuse. And then she just started beating on my twin sister really bad, you know. But I don't think that I ever went into the foster mom's purse and stole any credit cards or money or anything like that. But maybe if she left money hanging around somewhere, maybe I took it. But I was a child, I ain't know no better. Or people leave coins or whatever hanging out in the laundry room, you know. But you know, I used to see that all the time. If people left like in a family, in a household, in a foster care, you know, whoever would have money like coins, like quarters or nickels, dimes, pennies, you know. But sometime in my high school years, I felt like the foster stepdad, he used to have a shitload of quarters, you know, hanging out like in the car in the foster mom's BMW. And I feel bad I admit that I stole from him because I felt like I didn't like him. I felt like I hated him that much that, you know, I was occasionally steal the quarters, you know. If I didn't take all the quarters, but, you know, if I stole like $5 out of the probably $80 worth of quarters, and you know, but But I heard like everybody, because of sin in the world, that we all have, broken the 10 Commandments. Um, you know, but as an adult, I didn't go around stealing stuff or anything like that, and then dealing with surveillance cameras everywhere, you know. But yeah, like in 2017, or was it 2015, me being by Ramona's house, and then I went to go somewhere. I think I went to go do laundry, and Ramona was snooping through my belongings to see whether or not I had any money. And she went and put Raymond's dirty socks in my inside my backpack, in my well, I didn't have luggage, but my duffel bag or whatever I had, and I'm like, fucking disgusting. Take my clothes out and then replace them with Raymond's dirty clothes. That's the way to gaslight me. And she was mad at me at the time. But but the foster brother Joe, there was a point in time when he would purposely leave stuff. I mean, leave money. He would leave money as a way to trap us. And I didn't even know, because it's like, if money was laying around, like if I saw money like outside on a carport on the side of the foster mom's house, and I find $20 laying around, and then I go and ask, well, who is this for? And if I ask Joni, if I ask my twin sister, if I ask the foster mom, they all say no, it's not their money. Then like, okay, well, then I kept it for myself. And then and I didn't realize that the foster brother Joe played this sick fucking game where he would intentionally leave like certain amount of money, a period of time where he would leave a certain amount of money out in the open on purpose so someone can steal it, on purpose so that he can give himself a fake excuse to seriously hurt me or something. And I didn't catch on. I thought that I was just randomly being lucky, just randomly finding fucking money. I didn't realize until after some time that I didn't catch on that Joe was doing this on purpose. That he did that on purpose, deliberately. And so after I found out he was doing that on purpose, then, if he quit laying the money, if he laid money around, I didn't try to take it. But then after some time, he quit doing that. And then one time, Juju, his son Julian, was like 6 years old or something, and he said, "Well, I put it at the dresser and she took it." And I'm like, you didn't put it on the dresser. But he was a little kid, he was a little kid. But yeah, but one time, I was mad. Me and James got into Joni's brother James. We got into an argument for whatever reason, right? And I don't remember if James stole something from me and I got mad, or something, or if James stole something from April or something. I don't remember what the story was. I remember being in 9th grade, and James, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I just remember April encouraging me to go in James' room, his bedroom or whatever, and for me to just take and steal whatever I wanted. So, I found like $100 freaking dollars, and like he had $100 laying on the dresser or something, and I took that. But it's like, normally I wouldn't have gone and do something like that, but April had encouraged me to go and do that, But But yeah, as I said, I don't remember if he stole from me or if he stole from April. And you know, but Joni and James used to steal a lot. But my twin sister, she used to snitch, and she used to lie on people and still does. And she used to fucking steal a lot when we were little. But nowadays, no matter, even with me being poor and homeless, I never, like, the entire time of me being homeless, I never stole food out of the store. I never stole money. I mean, I'm sorry, I never stole money either. I never stole money. Um, I never stole food out of the store. I never stole toilet paper. And I never really tried to, you know, run off out of a restaurant without paying for anything. But these gang stalkers, they will tell all kinds of damn lies just to get rid of you. Or they would do these manipulative, weird setups. But if a restaurant told me, if I go to try to pay for the food and they say, well, your bill is taken care of, thank you so much. And then I walk out. And then the next time I come, they will say, well, oh, well, you're banned from here. You're trespassed from here because you walked out without paying. And I'm like, wait a minute, that same restaurant. And I'll be like, well, wait a minute. You told me that somebody paid for my food. And then and that happened at BJ's in Pensacola by the mall. BJ's Brew House. And I think that they called the police on me, but the police didn't really do anything, But I don't remember if I had an altercation with the police, but the police didn't charge me with anything or they didn't take me to jail. And I don't even remember exactly, but the police just said, oh, well, they just want you to leave. And like, I try to explain, and then then after some time, they apologized. But it was all this gang stalking weirdness going on. And sometimes that happened in downtown Pensacola as well, where and it happened in Mobile at a downtown restaurant in Mobile, Alabama, where customers paid for my food, and I watched them pay for my food, like in front of my face, and if they offered to pay, and then, then abusive, narcissistic, fake gang stalking restaurant people would falsely accuse me of walking out without paying. And, and then I end up having an altercation, and then I catch them in their gang stalking lies, and then they want to try to pretend to fake overcompensate to try to pretend like as if they're offering me some restitution or something. But I try to do the honest and right thing to, if I don't have enough, then I will go and panhandle until I have enough. Even if it's a freaking side order of, some green beans that's $3.19 or something. And then they don't give a fuck if I didn't have breakfast or lunch that day. They will cheat me and give me like half a container. And say, oh, well, ma'am, that's standard portion size. And playing fucking games while everybody else around me gets the full container filled to the brim. But and the foster sister Shelly used to steal from me and then blame it on the foster boy Nick, like in 2006. And the foster sister Shelly would throw in my face that, oh yeah, you used to steal Al's money when you were 2 years old, so yeah, you a thief, you steal. Well, I'm like, how can you say that I was a toddler and didn't know any better? But you a grown adult fucking stealing from people. And Shelly she even told me straight to my face that she don't give a fuck about me. But yet she tried to demand for her name to be put on my bank account. And for her to try to monitor and control my finances. And I'm like, for what? Stay away from me. You and Shelly ain't to be fucking trusted. And Shelly even freaking, my twin sister has told me about Shelly, being one of the people that commit tax fraud and stuff like that. She said that the foster sister Shelly was illegally claiming us on her income taxes when we were in foster care. So anyway, though, so but yeah, I mean, for somebody to say that they never lied or that they never really stole anything or that they never had covetousness in their heart or like they never felt jealousy, who the hell is perfect enough? I mean, none of us are really perfect, but who the hell is perfect enough that they never felt envy in their heart, that they never felt jealousy in their heart, or that they never felt covetousness in their heart? But so many people who, brag about how they don't break any laws. Well, how many of God's laws have you broken, or how many sins have you committed? And you brag about and got your nose arrogantly turned up about how you follow the law of your local laws of your community in your city or state or whatever, and people that just fake self-righteous holier than thou attitude, you know but as I said, I don't vividly remember stealing any money from my twin sister when we were younger, but maybe I have stolen certain objects, maybe toys or something, but I just can't remember offhand. But when we were toddlers and I was having nightmares about her Bill Cosby doll, and I shaved his freaking head off because I felt haunted by the doll. And I don't remember if I tried to set the thing on fire, but I remember I cut his hair off, all his hair off or whatever, of the doll. And I had the Fat Albert doll. And the Fat Albert doll was no problem for me. But the Bill Cosby doll traumatized and haunted me for whatever reason. And I read about 80s dolls having like witchcraft behind them and haunting kids. So, and it was some other toy. Maybe the foster sister Joni had a toy or something that I tried to destroy because I felt that like the thing was haunting me or traumatizing me. But they had some weird, as I said, weird supernatural stuff happen when I was in foster care, of us being affected by witchcraft happening around us when we were too little to understand anything. And I mean, I've talked before in a video about us levitating in the air or for us to wake up with nosebleeds. I think that fucking cat Tom, the evil gray cat Tom, was a demon-possessed cat that used to freaking attack me in my doggone sleep. And they had two gray cats named Tom that used to do the same thing. But anyway, though, my legs, I mean, the swelling went down so much, y'all would be amazed. But my legs and feet and stuff, they're not as red and they're not, but they still hurt some, Oh, I'm in so much pain. So, if my twin sister wanted to try to get me off the streets, her version would be for me to be jailed, institutionalized, or dead, or for somebody to have conservatorship over me, or some way to try to have control over me. She wouldn't even care about to be respectful and nice enough or loving enough to have to where, I'm gonna get me a house or get me a place to live and have an extra bedroom, and you have your own bedroom. But then, it would be as I said, my twin sister would try to act as my handler, and I'm not fucking having it. And what am I supposed to know of her having plans to freaking get me off the streets or whatever? And it's all an act and to pretend for image, fakery, and for show. Nothing authentic. And you hear stories about homeless people that people get mad and say homeless people don't want help. Well, it might be homeless targeted individuals that feel like they can't trust anyone, damn it. Or if other people advise homeless people to not trust anyone. If they say homeless people are foolish, if we accept food from random strangers on the streets that walk up to us and offer it to us, and if something happened, then we get victim blamed. Even if we hadn't eaten for days already, So, then my twin sister been encouraging everybody to oppress and abuse me and refuse me help, while all of a sudden she's trying to get me some kind of housing arrangement now. As I said, if she's trying to do something like that, I don't trust it, and I cannot trust it. She ain't been trying to help all these fucking years and watching me suffer. And if I live with her, she might be hitting me with sleep deprivation and directed energy weapons, noise campaigns, noise harassment, or she would put her hands on me and physically abuse and beat on me. She would take my money and deprive me of food and be very manipulative and controlling and bossy and bully, harass, and laugh at me, and then encourage outsiders to come with the vigilante hate and attacks. I might end up getting shot and killed because she freaking lied on me. And she would fight to make her hands look clean if I got blood sacrificed or freaking murdered or died. She'll be the type of person who would be evil enough to covertly and secretly poison my food. And then gaslight, and if I'm vomiting, they might lie and sell candies pretending to be vomiting for attention. Or she forced herself to vomit, or something they would say to try to wipe their hands squeaky clean from being detected of anything dirty that they have been done. And that's why they want me forced medicated, because now that I'm not on medication anymore, I can fight back and they can't have control over me. I can fight back and they can't have control over me no more. So anyway, yeah, David Jane came in the fake Darnell Williams perp. They both came to harass me, between last night and the middle of the morning. And my legs were hurting too bad. And I mean, as I said, like, one person sent me $5 while I was doing a video. And then after I got done the video, like a few minutes later, I got sent some more help, and so then I ended up having the adequate funds, enough for more hotel. But last night I didn't have any dinner to eat, even though afterwards I had the funds, but I felt like, oh, it's too late, and my legs were still hurting, and I didn't feel like fighting with nobody with any food deliveries, or and for me to go out and about, as I said, my legs were hurting. So I just went without dinner last night. I went without dinner last night, and then oh, my legs hurt. Then I discovered that I had enough funds for 2 more nights here. Thanks so much again. I have enough funds for 2 more nights. And then so this morning, the manager and the front desk agent, I had a better experience. They were much nicer this morning, and I, booked 2 more nights, and I have enough funds for food to eat today, but not sure if I will have enough funds for tomorrow. And if I do, it might be enough for one meal tomorrow. Um, but I got a little more help this morning. Um, but um, I went to get me. I mean, because at first I thought I was gonna have like $8 or something left over. So I went to where I know what I know will be cheap and affordable, and I didn't want any donuts. But I had 3 donuts, and they didn't have white milk because I was trying to have less sugar. But I ended up with having chocolate milk, and that there was a man that was had the he was jiggling his key, somewhat elderly man. He was jiggling his keys, and then he left out at the same time I did, and he had like, I don't remember if it looked like a bluish purple dark colored Ford Escape, or was it Ford Escape or something similar, and he had a Texas license plate. He looked like he was a senior citizen. And they're shocking me in my right eye right here, right when I'm talking about it. Um, he looked like he was a senior citizen, and you know, and so yeah, he was jiggling his doggone keys, and he was in my way when I was trying to and it's like when I try to get them, I was like, wait a minute, they don't have any more white milk, and the cashier kind of had an attitude. She said no, like with an attitude or whatever, because I thought that maybe they might have had something in the back, in the back, but I was trying. Bad enough I like had to get something sweet because that's what I could afford, and I was trying to get the white milk to reduce the sugar, even though I love chocolate milk and the chocolate milk tastes good, but I was trying to get the white milk because you know to not have as much sugar, but but because the donuts being already very sweet and stuff. So, I had 2 buttermilk drops and 1 donut. The buttermilk drops were pretty good, but the regular donut tastes like trash, you know. But but then I went to go and come back here, and like I I mean I got my I ate the donuts and drank the milk, and I had immediately took the bentonite clay and my green supplement, and like I don't feel the shakes. I don't feel weak. My body feels normal, you know. Um But I need to, make sure I drink plenty of water today. Um, but I gotta, I'm too tired to do it today. But, um, definitely, I need to, um, I definitely need to, go get my mail very soon. Get my mail. But, I think I'm gonna skip lunch today and then have dinner. But I don't know yet what I want to eat for dinner. Um, but I might have enough for a meal tomorrow for breakfast or something. But I might need to end up asking for help, like for lunch or dinner or something. Um, and I have it on my heart to want to write, a short story or two. And, you know, but, but yeah, the foster sister Joni used to steal from us all the time. She used to steal our clothes. She would steal our food. You know, she liked to steal our socks and undies. And if you got water sitting on the counter, like say you in the middle of eating dinner, and then you go use the bathroom, and then you find out Joni stole some, she took some sips of your water when she didn't even go get her own water. Stuff like that. But then Joni would get mad at us when we got her in trouble because I mean she would steal my socks that clearly had our initials on it. Joni steal my socks. I'm like, Joni, you got your own socks. What you need to take my socks for? If we told on her, and then she get justified being mad at me, you know. Well, you stole my doggone socks. You had zero reason to steal my socks. You got your own doggone socks. You ain't lacking socks. What you steal my socks for? And Joni used to try to use us for favors and like use us for like errand slaves. But then the foster mom and other foster family members and even biological family members, I can never use anybody as an errand slave and tell them, go get me this or go do this, go do that. They would tell me go get it myself. Or they tell me straight up, hell no. If I ask for permission and they say hell no or no, just to think that they're exerting that power over you. They dishing out orders telling you what to do. Being bossy and controlling, you know. But I'm 40 years old and I have zero authority over anybody at all. I don't have any authority over anybody. Why everybody think they got everybody in society got authority over me to tell me what to do or lecture me about morals? When y'all participate in gang stalking and people make excuses to justify why such and such person is not a bad human being or that they're a good person who just got tricked or bribed or caught up. And y'all keep making excuses for gang stalkers. But y'all stay mad at me eternally. You know. But gang stalkers who flipped and turned, they should not be called good people. But you have no problem with calling Candy Grand Prix a horrible person. Oh, please stay away from her. She's a very, very, very horrible person. That's how they be like. So, um, I thought I drank enough water yesterday, but I wasn't sure. But I think my body and my mouth feels kind of dry or maybe dehydrated. Um, it feels kind of weird. But I didn't get great sleep last night, But the swelling went down in my legs so much, you know. Um, but then I guess after Thursday, I would have to repeat the cycle all over again with, having to be out on the streets. And this coming week is Jazz Fest for the next couple of weeks and raised hotel prices. And I can't leave town because of the court date that's coming up next week. 8 more days. And I have to dress a certain way. I mean, for me to have to dress a certain way and then have nowhere to put my belongings. And I couldn't trust to leave. If I was even on good terms with Ramona, I could not trust to leave my stuff at Ramona's house because Ramona would snoop through my belongings and steal from me. And I don't have a storage unit that I can put my belongings, my backpack in. Where I could leave my backpack and phone in a storage unit. But I don't have a storage unit at the moment. I don't have a storage unit. So, it would be the best for me to have like 2 nights in a hotel, like from, April 30th. See, you hear that? From April 30th, like to May 2nd. Excuse me, like 2 nights in a hotel. And for me to go to court. And then, so that could be a safe place for my belongings to be. And then, I don't get paid until May 3rd. And if I have to deal with the deferred prosecution, then I would have to pay, I don't know how much I would have to pay or what community service I would be forced to have to do. But if it weren't for me to be forced into homelessness and poverty due to the gang stalking, this happens to a lot of homeless people. To have like a, forced fake criminal record or a criminal charge or whatever. By abusive, narcissistic, fake, power-hungry police officers that are straight up psychopaths. Power-hungry psychopaths. And then I'm trying to get they said I would have to pay at least $300 for the much-needed body cam footage. And as I said, if anything is altered, then these motherfuckers are corrupt and got something to hide. Yeah, I would like for the body cam footage to be unaltered. Because the officers lied on the police report. They told multiple lies on that short little police report. And they didn't name the name of the officer that put me in handcuffs. Why should that not be relevant? And they thought they were so tough, why did they need a backup? If they were already 2 women, what did they need a male third officer if they thought they were tough like men? I mean, they could have handcuffed me themselves, but they forced and held me there for a long time. Like they were forced holding my wrist against the SUV. After they did all that crazy stuff to me. After Allison did all that crazy. Like, come on, for you to be mad at me, it was not necessary for you to break my phone. It was not necessary for you to kick, stump, and drag my jacket and throw my backpack. That seemed like what she did was like intentional, childish, petty revenge at me telling her straight to her face, "You're not God." They came at me, raging at me and cussing me out like as if they were already previously mad. And I'm going to say it again. Multiple off police cars passed by 3 days in a row, and none of them told me anything. And then they had this fake fabricated story to make it look like as if I was a mischievous criminal. And then they always falsely accuse you and falsely assume that you have been to jail before, or that you, and then they falsely assume that, like, Officer Allison falsely assumed that I had multiple warrants out for my arrest, and then they felt stupid to find out that I didn't have a criminal record before and that I didn't have any prior warrants out for my arrest. Excuse me. So, it's hard, with my male circumstance and being homeless, um, I wouldn't want to be a pest to call up every day asking for mail. But, so that's why I might call in occasionally and ask, but, and then I'm sitting here just fighting for my survival and battling with this gang stalking and homelessness and everything, you know, excuse me. So, but I mean, they won't even have any compassion or understanding about somebody being homeless with nowhere to go. And Officer Allison wanted to you know falsely accused me of wanting to go to jail. She was projecting that she wanted me in jail so bad. They abused their fake power. You know, and nobody's gonna say that what they did to me was police brutality or abuse or excessive force. All because my skull is not cracked. But what they did, like, it seems like what she did was criminal mischief by intentionally kicking, stumping, and dragging my jacket like a fucking, toddler throwing a tantrum. And, for me to deal with Officer Michelle, snapping her fingers at me like a dog and throwing up 666 hand signs. And like, they strategically waited till after the wrongful jail arrest to, and then after I got into the jail, that's when they started with their perp tactics of throwing up satanic hand signs and snapping the fingers at me like a dog. And Allison was kept tapping. She kept tapping her gun. She kept tapping her hands on her gun for noise harassment purposes, on purpose to trigger and provoke me so that they could justify more brutality against me. I hope something really bad happens to them very fucking soon, and I don't give a fuck. I hope something really fucking horrible happens to them for ruining people's lives, innocent people's lives, unnecessarily because of their greed for power, control, and money that they don't deserve. And anybody else who defends and agrees with them, because they're fucking wicked. You ruined my fucking life behind lies. It's amazing that they didn't tell what they did wrong in the police report. Yeah, I cussed them out and called them names. After you wrongfully arrested me and wrongfully took me to jail. Because I know y'all were freaking perps. I called Allison a gang stalker to her fucking face. And they proved it later on. But how come they didn't say anything for fucking days? With the incident with Officer Flanders and the other one, the black lady. Yeah, that night multiple police cars were passing by that house. How come they didn't arrest me then? Nobody arrested me then. The next day, nobody arrested me. I did not even know that it was a crime or I was doing something wrong. And I'm going to say it again. The online stalkers did that to me before and thought the shit was funny. Called up and lied and said that it was their property. The fake Darnell Williams perp, he did that. So when they confronted me, I thought, and it was right after I uploaded the video, I'm like, oh shit, this is a gang stalking setup. But if they were called out, the police report probably would have said it. But they made it like as if they were already on patrol. That they were already out. And make it like as if they just so happened to see me. But they came and parked the vehicle right there and sat there for a while. And then pulled off and left and then came right back and then confronted me and made it like, it seemed like they were conspiring and plotting. And it seemed like they had, like after the incident with those 5 boys who were obvious perps, it seemed like the Gretna police was heavily surveilling and following me around. So, yeah, I never been friends with the fake Gretna police. You know. Excuse me. But the nice officers, I don't even remember their last names. But Officer Pam and Officer Ann and Officer Pam from when I was in 8th grade. They will be forever held dear in my hearts as my favorite Gretna police officers. And I'm pretty sure they're old and retired by now. But Officer Susie was kind of so. You know, they were like the Gretna Junior High police resource officers. You know, but Officer Ann was kind of more like a good friend. You know, and Officer Pam was really nice. But you know, but the rest of the Gretna police is fucking trash. I don't give a fuck. Y'all, they're trash and they're fake as hell. You know, trying extra hard to try to be something that they're not. Fake, artificial, narcissistic, whatever, you know. But they probably might have a few good officers, maybe. But as far as I know, Gretna police has always been corrupt, even when I was in elementary school. And people, they always throughout the years, even though they have a few black officers, but Gretna police had always had a reputation for being racist against black people. And West Wego as well. You know, West Wego police. But I never ever in my life had any interactions with West Wego police because I don't really go to West Wego. But I've been hearing this reputation that West Wego is worse than Gretna police. But Gretna police is the arrest capital of America. And all for quotas and money. Not that you really did anything, but they just, you know, doing this to generate more money. They don't like to be costed any money for you to take court to trial, but they will be glad to still rob the poor and steal from the poor and the homeless. But they try to threaten, frighten, and intimidate you that you will have hell to pay for you to plead not guilty and take this to trial. And they have so many bootlicking, ass kissing folks of my own race that will have no problem selling out their own kind for the other. So I'm gonna try to go for now. Excuse me. As I said, I don't know what the outcome is gonna be, and you know, I don't know what the outcome is gonna be next week, and any of you Christians, can you keep me in your prayers? You know, don't be trying to being like, oh, Father God, in Jesus' name, I pray that that Candy gets brought to justice, and I pray that they punish her to the fullest extent of the law, and this and that. Don't be doing all that. Especially if y'all sit there and, working for the devil, working for the enemy. But I'm praying that because of my circumstance and this targeting and everything, I pray that they drop the charges. But the officers need to be brought to justice for what their brutality and abuse that they did to me. The cops, Gretna police, they're fucking murderers. Or attempted murderers. But they have a lot of black police officers in New Orleans that's no less corrupt. I mean, I saw in downtown New Orleans a black police officer. We were by the Chick-fil-A, and I saw like a black police officer like going off and cussing out of teenagers, and being brutal and abusive. But I don't remember what else he did, and I was shocked. But yeah, I mean, I try to stay to myself and stay out of trouble. So thanks for listening to me. I need any and all the help I can get, and I'm gonna see y'all later. I'm gonna try to write a short story or two.